Hey folks, Hal Shurtleff, Director of Camp Constitution, here with my good friend and colleague, Reverend Stevie Kraft, my brother from another mother.
Sure enough, another mother.
Well, we're here at Camp Constitution. Actually, there's a little lull in the action because most of the campers and staff are on a hike at Mount Monadnock. I'm usually there, but I had to catch up with a lot of things. So I wanted to get a little chance to sort of discuss the camp's vision. And I think this is probably probably the best camp we've ever had.
Yes.
And especially that it fell within the week of July 4th. All the great activities,
Yes.
the instructors, incredible. And we've been wanting to take this show sort of all over the country. What I mean is that to create other camps around the country, and so I want to discuss a little bit about what we've done. We were founded back in the winter of December of 2008. There was three of us that were initially involved, myself, Mrs. Ruth Harper, who's our program director, and Mr. Charlie Everett, who's the manager, the manager.
Yeah.
And we started our first summer camp here in 2009, and then we started saying, look, there's some things we need. We need some handouts to give to the campers. So we started publishing. We had a friend of mine who was been a big supporter of our camp program since we started. And we reprinted things like Republics and Democracies. Then we started reprinting articles on Agenda 21 that we were able to use to help get the word out. And then we started a radio show a few years ago, and a friend of mine who had a radio station up in northern Maine said, hey, we'd like you as a guest on our show. Do you want your own show? And he said, yeah, let's make it happen. And in February of this year, 2017, I became a full-time director thanks to the generosity of some good people and some faith in God, because it wasn't like there was a whole lot of generosity, but enough to make it happen. And last fall we started a speakers bureau, and of course Reverend Kraft is a member of that. Rev's been on board. You would have been here in 2009. I think you were recuperating from an ailment.
Yeah, I had a surgery.
And so you're here since 2010. Your wife is she's in charge of our junior camp. And our camp is not just a summer camp that's a week long, but it's a family camp. And we have to some people when they hear camp, they think it's for little kids or for teenagers or whatever the case, but it's a camp for all ages, families. We have some wonderful families here with their babies, a 2-year-old, up and all ages. We have people in their 70s here too. I think we've had a few visitors that were in their 80s. So our camp is open to all people. And this is an incredible, I believe, a very incredible program. And we want to be able to replicate this program in other parts of the country. And I did a presentation yesterday, and I pointed out that 80% of people 30 and under either voted for Hillary or voted for Bernie Sanders. Well, that's something wrong there. And we need to get this important information out to the young people. But it's not just the young people, it's people our age, a little bit younger, a little bit older. They don't have this information that we provide. And then once you have it, what do you do with it? So we motivate people to become freedom activists. And we would like to start other camps around the country. Weekend camps, doesn't have to be a week long. Get our speakers out in other parts of the country. And that's only going to be possible with the support of people that are listening. And the people who watch this, our Facebook feeds, tend to agree with us that the people who are our Facebook friends, they support our efforts. And we have different ways that they can help. One of the things on our website, campconstitution.net, you can go to the home page, and there's a PayPal button. There's actually two. And we would love for people to make monthly contributions, monthly donations, whatever that may be, whether it be the widow's mite at $5 or $10 or more, $50, $100, whatever you can do. Also, we have a sponsors page. You look at the sponsors page, click that, there's a drop down, and you see a lot of companies, businesses. Some of the people that are here are on the sponsors page. So anybody who works at Camp Constitution, volunteers their time, or participates, if they have a company or business, we put them on the sponsors page. And then we have some people, like the gentleman who made the sign here, Socha Sign Company. He's a sponsor, and he doesn't give us cash. He gives us his, like the banner back here, and these can be quite expensive, and it's very professionally done. And then we have other people who might belong to organizations, nonprofits, and with the permission of the folks who run the nonprofit, they make a donation in kind, and then we put up their website or a link to their company. So that's another way, and that can be considered a legitimate tax write-off. But Reverend Kraft and I have, we've had some great experiences just in the since last July. We had you up in Maine at a press conference, not so much defending the governor as a politician, but defending his stance on the issue of the drug addiction issue. And then we had you and Dr. Kishore on a couple of speaking engagements in Maine, in New Hampshire. We had you in Massachusetts, from the inner city of Boston to the most remote parts of Maine.
Yes, yes.
And I look at you, I'm not trying to build you up. You're a national treasure, and your voice should be known a lot further. And I think we have a lot of people in our camp that that also have Earl Wallace and others. So we encourage you to help out. Wherever you live in the United States, you say, gee, we would love to be able to do something here. Invite us out there. We give a presentation. We'll tell you how it can be done and how it's needed. And Rev, just at this point, let me just sort of put it in your corner and give you.
When I think about Camp Constitution, I think about the concept of the military boot camp.
Boot camp, yeah.
We are a boot camp for liberty. We are a boot camp for freedom. We are a boot camp to share with our nation, to sound the alarm that unless we go back to the foundational principles that made our nation great, because like Mr. Shurtleff, what you just said, right now in politics, we're operating under the idea of American exceptionalism, which is true. Let us make America great again. But we know as ministers of the gospel, which I am, that in order for that to happen, we must understand why we were great in the beginning.
That's right.
America was great because America was good. And when America ceases to be good, she ceases to be great. That is the concept that I hold, why I love Camp Constitution. Because, like you said, Mr. Shurtleff, when we just hear the word camp, many times we get the wrong impression. We think, oh, you're going to go up in the boondocks and you're going to set up tents and you're going to have just a campfire and roast marshmallows and eat hot dogs. We do all that, but that's not the purpose of Camp Constitution.
Right.
The purpose of Camp Constitution is to build soldiers, to build those who love our nation, to those who will fight to regain what the enemy is trying to steal from us. That is why this camp is so needed. And that's the reason why, like you said, Mr. Shurtleff, what I want to see happen as part of the vision for Camp Constitution, I've been believing God and asking God, and I don't have the financial resources at hand to do it, but I know that ram in the bush is out there, to get a small motorhome, the smallest one, the Class B, I think it is, where Mrs. Kraft and myself, as one of your speakers, as you send us in that motorhome to different places. For example, you say, Reverend Kraft, you're one of the speakers. Go to Philly next week, spend 3 or 4 days there. Right. Begin to speak about our Americanist principles in front of the Liberty Bell. And then when you leave there, start going west, young man. Go west to different locations and begin to spark the vision for renewal, the vision for revival. This is a great part of it. This is ministry. This is ministry. So the cry of my heart is for God to give us the resources, give us the people who love our nation and are concerned about the decadence that has come against our nation, where there are enemies of our nation, external enemies from without, but even more dangerous, Mr. Shurtleff, enemies from within.
That's right.
So my responsibility under God for Camp Constitution is to share these spiritual principles as you are sharing the Americanist principles, and to two coming together is a combination that cannot fail.
Well, the Americanist principles are spiritual principles.
Right.
Our founders believed without morality and without religion, and in those days, religion was a
Yes.
word. It wasn't what it's become
Right,
today.
right.
That we can't be free.
That's right.
Morality and freedom are without
Inseparable.
morality.
Yeah,
we
right.
can't have freedom.
Exactly,
So-
exactly.
So we kind of mix that. We have a wonderful blend of the
Yes.
understanding the problem, the issues, and again, what's preventing us from going more to regional is just funds.
Just resources.
And you get, if you had 10,000 people watching this, everybody give $5 a month. That would do it.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's not like it requires a whole lot. And I am a good steward of people's resources.
Yes, you
I'm
are.
a cheapskate when it comes to other people. I'm a cheapskate when it comes to my money, never mind other people. That's my wife, she'll tell you. But actually, but for a good cause. And we
Yeah.
have such, I mean, you're 73 years of age, and I'm sure you would be better off just hanging out. You could probably be at the beach or do something, but this is so important. And we have people that give us a week of their time,
Yes.
weeks of their time.
Yes,
I mean,
yes.
They drive miles, and we have people coming as far as Michigan, western Michigan, Virginia, somebody from Tennessee this week. And we're hoping to start camps in Virginia, in Florida. We do have some people interested, but we just have to get that interest to the next level. What we do is we do homeschool shows. We set up information tables. We did 3 this year. We want to expand that. And at these homeschool shows, we have a mission. It's not just getting people to the camp. It's to teach them about the Constitution, the threats to the Constitution, and what they can do to stop it. And we love to be able to go to the big homeschool show in Florida, the one I think it's in Kentucky, Kentucky, Ohio, and some of the out in the Midwest and the coast. And it just requires more help.
Yes.
So please, folks. I know there's a lot of organizations out there vying for your limited resources, but I think but our camp is definitely worth it.
Yes. And I'll say this in my conclusions. Yes, there are many organizations that are requesting financial support. But as far as I'm concerned, Mr. Shurtleff, here's the issue. If we lose our nation, we are the last bastion
That's right.
of liberty. If we lose America, it's over.
It's over.
So none of these other organizations will have nothing to work with.
That's right.
Liberty is foundational. That's a spiritual principle that our Lord said when he said that if you continue in my word, then are you my disciples indeed, and then you will know the truth, and the truth will make you, not set you, make you free. So freedom has got to be foundational.
Right.
See? So, ladies and gentlemen, viewers, those that are watching this presentation, pray about it.
Right.
Ask God, where, Lord, would you have me to put my resources as a good steward? And when God speaks to your heart, which I know he will, sometimes we don't listen, but I know God speaks. And when God speaks to support this work, be obedient. Because like you said, Mr. Shurtleff, when I get that truck, Ms. Kraft and I, we will go to the assignments you send us to. We will do the mini presentations and get the people in those locations involved, and this thing will build. See, because it all starts from a seed.
That's right. That's right. So you can visit our website. You can make a donation through the PayPal, preferably a monthly donation. Contact us through our website. There's a place where you can contact us. We want to hear from you, and we need your help, folks. So with that, we want to thank you, and thank you for watching, and God bless.
God bless you.